This month, I've been in Cumbria for 20 years.
Wow.
Coming from Newcastle. City
Right.
boy.
I always forget this. You're from Newcastle.
Yeah, well, the accent's it's gone.
Man.
But it just, today I was just like, I would not want to go back to the city.
No.
I couldn't move away from this.
It's hectic, man. Like, I lived there for
driving down a beautiful road by the lake, and I was just thinking, why would you want to live anywhere else?
It's a concrete jungle over there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like to go there. I like to visit things. I like to go to gigs. I like to go shopping, stay in hotels, all that stuff. But then I love coming home.
It's nice to withdraw from it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's a lot more stressful life living in a city. It's more faster,
yeah.
and you're going to be on your toes.
Even just if you had a normal office job, like just commuting to work, just getting on the public transport, getting to town, make sure you stop and do this, then go to work. The whole thing is just
I mean, I did the public transport there.
Because you moved over there for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, I was there for about a year.
Yeah.
I was there for about a year, and then I thought I was going to go bald, so I thought I better leave.
Oh, the stress.
Yeah, man. It was just fucking... I did the same route.
Kerry King, not on the top, all down here.
Yeah, Scott Ian or some shit. Or John Bush from Anthem.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so it just didn't work out.
It was just a culmination of things, really. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, like... The band I was in at the time, Hellion Rising.
Oh yeah,
that just fizzled out for a number of reasons and stuff like that. And then Rachel wanted to like come home. You know, she was.
And you didn't have any problem with that.
I didn't mind. I put up such a resistance for a long time, and then I just thought it's just not worth it anymore. You know, putting up the fight. So I was like, I'm just gonna go.
But then you get here, you go, yeah, this is.
Yeah, I settled in straight away.
It's like if I ever talk to anyone who comes up from like London or somewhere, like they appreciate it so much, like the whole different way of life. They're like, oh look, sheep.
Do you not find that there's more like people from the south moving up here?
Yeah,
loads, man. Like
especially retiring people.
Yeah,
it's like one of the #1 places to retire to.
They want out of the machine. They want out of that grind.
Some young people as well. So I've met some young people who've just. I'm not doing this anymore. I just cut all their ties, and even though like there could be quite a high-powered job, and the job they're going to get up here, there's less opportunities. They'll get something, but it won't be what they were on. But they don't care.
It's not worth it working all the time.
Plus, the cost of living's a lot less here than it is down there. Mm-hmm. So they don't need to be paid what they were getting paid if they come up here.
London's like that though. Like when I go to London, I often visit on my own. Do you know what I mean? And if you just talk to someone, say if like for example, there's a woman at an ice cream stand. And you know, people just being a fucking arsehole. They weren't saying, please, thank you. I got talking to this woman. Like, how's your day? She was like, what the fuck is up with you? Like, you're actually conversating, you know what I mean?
They're not used to it. They're not used to it.
Suspicious, man.
The whole awkwardness on a tube.
Win them round.
You know, when like no one looks at you, only in the eye, or... I mean, they've got the whole stigma with the terrorism stuff, but...
Yeah.
It's not a very friendly atmosphere, is it?
I feel sketchy on that tube, though, when I go on. I've always got like my vest on in case I need like a John McClane situation, you know what I mean? Just run around barefoot and try and tackle some terrorists.
Or do you think, maybe they would all like me more if I shaved?
Yeah. I always get stopped in airports. Every time I get jacked, man.
Wow.
It doesn't help.
Random search?
Yeah, like tapping on your shoes and stuff. It doesn't help though, you know, they got the metal scanners.
Yeah.
I was saying to Rachel, like, walk through and say, hey, look, they got the bomb scanners here. And they look at you, the bomb, you know, get taken to one side straight away.
You said the B word, in you go, son.
Check you out.
But
I haven't flown since, like, Berlin, but I hate flying. I white knuckle it all the way. I'm like the whole fucking way, man. I need some, like...
Not good on long flights, then. You need the sleeping pills.
Ritalin or something. Or just something to just chill out.
I love flying. You
like flying?
Do you like flying?
Yeah.
I love long haul flights even. Like watch a couple of films, listen to some podcasts, listen to some music. I look forward to it. For me, it's part of the holiday.
It's terrifying.
You're like, get me off this plane.
This is what I don't like about flying, right? If that thing comes down, you have no chance of getting off that. I like that slight gamble. If a train crashes, maybe 100 people are going to get minced, but you might get out of that. And I'm a gambling man, do you know what I mean? So I love them chances. Shoot, I might lose an arm, I might have no legs, but I'm getting out of it, man. Do you know what I mean?
You can't think like that. You never do
anything. It's just me. I do. I get
at least you do it though, I suppose. At least you doesn't actually stop you doing it.
I do it. I just weigh it up and go.
You're like going on like a lad's holiday. Lads, I'll drive. I'll set off 2 days before.
Meet you there.
That's like Dennis Burkamp. Arsenal footballer.
Yeah, he used to do that, didn't
When
he?
they played like the European games, he used to get transport, like driven in a bus or a taxi or something like that.
mush.
Really?
He'd sort of a day and a half before the flight.
Yeah.
Because he didn't like flying.
He was terrified of flying.
He must
my
have been
days.
knackered.
It's
all
a
the
legit
time.
fear. I can understand why people,
Yeah.
especially like the last 2 times I've been on a plane, like the couple of days before, there's been some airplane disaster film on. Lovely, just what I want to watch.
Right?
Not that I'm really scared about
Rach
flying,
was
but
going away somewhere with her friends, and I literally turned the TV on. It was like, shh, it's jumbo jet in the runway. I was like, oh man, cheesy as well. So it's like quickly changed the channel, like Corey or some shit, which was on.
no, but like I was saying, what I like about you is you do lots of stuff, especially now. But
Yeah.
you like to sort of stop sometimes and just go, I appreciate what I have.
Yeah.
I appreciate what's
Yeah.
going on,
You got it, man.
good or bad.
Because our tomorrows aren't guaranteed.
No.
So I think you got to try and live in the moment, and you got to appreciate the finer things in life. You know what I mean? If you're constantly wanting stuff and you're not appreciating the moment, it's depressive, man. You know what I mean?
Or if you're constantly doing stuff, you don't have time. Like I say, people
Yeah.
living in London, that pace of life doesn't give you much time to like stop.
Burns you out.
Because people,
burn.
especially those higher power jobs, it's all about like the career, the reputation, money, earnings. It's very.
It ain't worth it. What's the
It's
point?
not good. It's not good mentally for you. that,
No.
right? It chews and spits out a lot of people.
Absolutely
and,
not.
And usually the company or the industry doesn't give a shit about you.
No,
You're
you're
just a
number.
pawn.
You're just a number.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these
Yeah.
big companies and stuff.
So what made you start this health kick thing that you're on?
In like October last year.
So it was literally just after you'd been on, I think.
Yeah, it was just
Oh,
right.
just before.
It was right after. It was a culmination of things, really. I had a lot of, I know it's cliche to say, but a lot of bad things going on in my life at the time. Like my nana had just passed. Had some issues with the house, you know, where I was living
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and I was having trouble getting traction with the band, you know,
Yeah.
we hadn't done gigs, and I was just, I'm just gonna be honest, I was flat out depressed, you know what I mean? I did the least I'd ever weighed. I was under 11 stone. I was smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know that.
No, it was really bad. I like my Marlboro Lights, you know what I mean? And I
Had no idea.
I got thinking, I'd sparked up at work, and it was just like, this is getting out of hand now. You know what I mean? When you're
Just
smoking,
like hit you.
Yeah, I was like, it's just out of hand. You know what I mean? And had I didn't have like a mental breakdown or anything like that, but I had a moment where I was sitting on my brother's weight bench and I was listening to some Tupac, you know, Machiavelli.
Yeah.
And there's the line in Changes where he says, I see no changes. Wake up in the morning, do I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself?
Wow.
And that was where I felt at that moment in my life. I felt like I only had two options. I felt like it's like one way where you end it, which I don't really want to do, or I try and do something about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, my brother's a power lifter. He lifts a lot of weights. And I just picked up a dumbbell and I just worked my arms till I couldn't feel them anymore, you know what I mean? And that was the first kind of step into like positivity. Do you know what I mean? I just did that. And then I had like all my diet and stuff. I stopped smoking like from that moment. Just
Wow.
just
on his head, just decided to
completely
this is
jacked.
over now.
Completely jacked, yeah.
Wow.
It was difficult. I will say though, it was strange. It was like the first 3 days, it was like I'm like crawling on the walls, you know, like fucking Peter Parker or some shit.
Yeah.
And then after that, it became a lot easier.
Right.
A lot easier, you know, because I smoked as a mechanism of just chilling out if I got
Almost like
stressed.
escapism, kind of an escapism, 'cause
Boredom?
it's just from the routine.
Boredom, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just worked on a lot of things. I just worked on my whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just wanted to feel better in everyday situations. You know what I mean?
So then, what made you decide to count the days then, or what?
Just to keep going.
Have
It was
you
just-
got an end? Is there an end to it?
Probably a year. And then I'm gonna have a bottle of Coca-Cola because I love full fat Coke, and I haven't had Coke since. I haven't had ice cream. I haven't had
How many days are you on now?
around 290 or something.
Wow.
I haven't had any refined sugar in any of that time.
Because I see you post pictures like obviously working out or healthy food that you've been eating.
I eat like
Yeah,
like fructose sugar, like natural cane
Yeah,
sugars
yeah.
and stuff. But I could happily eat 3 bags of Haribo and shit.
So what's the main difference in you now from versus before? Just when you
I feel like a new person.
Right.
I feel
cognitive function and all that. Like your brain as well.
Yeah, because I had a lot of memory issues with all the head banging and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
I had a lot of neck problems and stuff.
But when you combine that with poor diet and everything,
terrible. I couldn't really my long-term memory's always been pretty sharp, but my short-term it got pretty bad. Like if someone had asked me like, "What you done the day before?" I'd be like, "I don't know. What did you do?" You know what I mean? Try and avoid it.
As if it's something like an 80-year-old man would say.
Yeah. I mean, I was worried I had CTE. Really,
right.
The beginning of CTE dementia or something. Cause
you do a lot of head banging.
Yeah, I mean, I had to
Cliff Burton style.
Yeah, man.
Tracking all around.
I had to modify the way to do it because I was going to
Yeah, I remember there is a sort of like trick to it. It's like the flick of the hair where we don't actually move your neck fully in the full motion. You can make it look like you're headbanging if you've got the hair.
Yeah, man.
Which you do.
Less of it. It's not as thick as it was, but I was going to headbang myself into a wheelchair at one rate.
Yeah,
you know
you get all the neck and the shoulder shit, and you probably need some operation eventually.
Probably. I mean, you never know. Get rid of some spurs, but I mean, for now, I get relatively no issues. I do all my exercises and stuff like that, like working out, and that's been a big help.
Have you changed weight wise? Or you
I'm almost 2 stone heavier now.
But that's in good weight, like muscle.
Muscle stuff like that. You know, like I forget about it until I'm moving around. You know,
or you see a picture from last year.
Yeah, I was like, was it really that skinny? It's funny though, because I see a picture of myself. I look at the camera now. I've looked at. I feel fat in the face. I feel like John Candy or some shit. You know,
it's just
what I mean?
The hair, surely.
Nah, loads of people have said it, man. Like they're like, your face is like wider now. It's like
wider face.
It's like, and I'm looking this, and I look morbidly obese when I look at it. You know what I mean? It's like,
I wouldn't go that far.
But John Candy over here.
It's weird because most people when they start some kind of health kick lose weight.
I've been gaining. I wanted to gain weight. I heard it was Hulk Hogan. He was talking about the 80s wrestler physique. He was like, you know what, brother? It's about the big arms and the barrel. And I thought, I'm never, ever going to get the 6-pack. I don't have the genetics for that kind of thing. Like, Alex doesn't either, because Alex said it to me, man. It's like, we don't have the genetics to do that kind of thing, but you're going to be able to pile on mass. So I thought, okay, I can maybe do, like, an Arn Anderson physique eventually, where you're just 16 stone and like a big fucking barrel.
Well, look at Brock Lesnar. He's never had the traditional proper 6-pack.
No,
it's just general muscle that you can see, but it's not. I don't think you could get a 6-pack if you wanted to.
No,
it's just too much mass there.
Takes just them kind of genetics.
Yeah.
Of putting sheer mass on.
Your brother's a big lad.
20 stone. No.
What is that in pounds? Because a lot of our audience is American.
280.
I don't know.
280 pounds. Wow.
He's insane though.
That's like Brock Lesnar.
People hate him in the gym. He goes in, right? First of all, he walks around barefoot, man. He doesn't wear any shoes. So he's there lifting his weights. And he's the only guy in the gym who will order takeaway at the gym. So, like, he's there. He knows the guys at Pizza Bravo.
They choked on my drink.
They walk in, some big old fat pizzas and some doner kebabs, man. And Alex is there, no shit, eating kebabs.
Is it just because he needs the protein and the carbs
he just wants
and
to
the calories?
He just wants to be big, man.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
I do envy that aspect of it. Being able to just eat that stuff because you're burning so many calories and you need more.
Infuriates people, though. Like, just pisses. They're trying
Gym wars.
Lose weight and they're trying to eat healthy. And
did he see? You didn't see that comment that I put on your photo, did he?
Which one was that?
You put a picture of you out to lunch with him or something last week.
Oh, we went to John's place and
I put he's looking more and more like True Geordie. Do you know who True Geordie is?
No, fill me in.
It's like it's a pretty famous podcast now, but the guy who presents it, he's a Geordie and he's huge.
Really?
I can't remember his real name. It's just called the True Geordie podcast.
It looks
but
like
it started off like this, but he because of the way he is, he's very opinionated. I think he became famous because he had a huge rant about Newcastle United.
Really? I do on Twitter or something.
The player, it was a few years ago now. The player Nile Ranger. He did something disrespectful to the club, I can't remember, and he went on YouTube and put this video, a huge rant about him and the club, and it went viral.
Wow.
And it was just the way he was talking. He'd also just started a podcast, and that got a lot of attention. And
awesome, man.
Then most of his initial podcasts were just him. Him and his mate just talking. And now he's had Ian Wright on. He's had loads of big
stars,
guests, and he's based over it. I think he might have moved to London now, but he was initially based in Newcastle, and people used to come up to him.
It's good to see people have success.
It is.
But you think Alex looks like him? I'm gonna have to like have a look at this
but
now.
If your brother knows him, it was meant a compliment. He's looking big. He looks good.
It's cool.
It wasn't a put down.
You wouldn't be offended. I tell you something, right? When we were growing up in the 90s, right, we had a Super Nintendo and we used to play Street Fighter 2, right? And I used to call him Zangief. And he has turned into Zangief. Like he's got the hair and the grey in it and stuff and the build. Like I call him, see him around the house, I call him like Zangief and stuff. It's yeah, right.
So what's going on with BÖSEN then? Because the last time, when was BÖSEN's first gig?
March 31st.
I was going to say, because you were gearing up for it last time you were on here. So it was stuff in the pipeline.
It was a very, very long process to even get in there. But we weren't in a rush, to be honest.
No, which is a rare situation to be in, because a lot of bands are like in a hurry to, let's go quick, let's get some songs, let's get some gigs.
I know, right? I think what it was, we'd all been in positions where bands could be quite stressful. You know, there was constant goals and pressures and stuff. And I think with BÖSEN, we all just thought, we're going to take a John Sykes kind of approach to this. You know, he was in Blue Murder and Whitesnake. We'll do it when it's done, basically.
Yeah.
Not to the point of Duke Nukem Forever, where you piss everyone off after 13 years. But we just took our time, and we went and did the show, and it was an amazing experience in the sense that I felt like it was like being like reborn again. Do you know what I mean? I think we all felt like that.
But you all came into it obviously with the same sort of feeling about how you wanted to do this band.
Yeah.
No stress.
Yeah, I mean,
easy going.
Yeah, they'd been playing as a unit for 2 years before I'd even been there. And
that was true. Yeah.
They hadn't even done a show, but they've got a keen work ethic. You know what I mean?
So you've been putting a lot of videos on recently of like bits of your rehearsal and stuff.
Yeah,
sounds
like
really good.
Yeah, man, it's out there. It's out there. I'm sure I said this last time, but when I joined them, I thought, I'm out of my fucking depth here. I honestly thought,
just because of the level of the musicianship and the songwriting and all
class fucking musicians. You know, they're like Beethoven and fucking Sid Vicious rocks in, man, who can't stay in key and writes terribly. So I was like, fuck, man.
Sometimes that's what it needs, though. If you were too perfect and on the money, it might have been.
Yeah,
these guys are too good altogether. You need a loose cannon in there somewhere to mix it up.
It's been a steep learning curve, though. But
yeah, good for you, though.
A good one, ultimately.
Yeah.
You know, I feel I understand music more. I don't want to be just one of these musicians who just stays on a plateau when you're music. I want to keep learning.
Challenge yourself.
I want to keep learning. I want to stay fresh. I don't want to be like... I just saw Kiss as well, but you know how Kiss is the same thing after 30 years.
Well, when bands get to that length of career, they're always going to be some sort of like... They almost become a novelty act of themselves.
Yeah.
You're only going to be playing your greatest hits. It gets to...
That's what I felt like this time watching them, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Where did you see them at?
The Metro Radio Arena. But I think it's called the United Fridge or something. The fucking... the refrigerator arena or the tampon arena. I don't know.
They always keep changing the names.
I remember it was the bloody Telewest Arena and the Blue Yacht. Anyways, it's the same place.
How was it?
Oh, man. I don't want to rag on Kiss because I fucking love Kiss.
You've got to be honest.
It was a good show, but I felt like now this has to be the final tour. I felt, I felt like, when you're redlining something for so long, and I don't want to see them stay around where they embarrass themselves or whatever. And to be honest with you, I didn't think it was entirely live this time. It was I've seen Kiss a lot of times, right? And it was the first time I've ever seen Kiss where I thought, I don't think this is entirely live. I think parts of it are. A lot of moments of it were.
Right.
But there was certain things with backing vocals, certain things when he was talking on the screen, his mouth didn't quite sync up. And I mean, the technology we have cameras now, it wouldn't have had a delay on it. So
yeah, they don't have delay much these days.
I didn't mind though, because it's Kiss, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, if it had been like... I'm trying to... Parkway Drive or someone.
Yeah.
If you don't see Parkway Drive, and you would be like, what the fuck is going on?
If someone
here?
in their prime is not on it, something's going on there.
I still had a good time, but a lot of people who go to these shows...
It's just nostalgia, a lot of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
The whole... I mean, how long have Kiss been going? 40 years?
71, 72, is it? From New York.
So
a long time.
When you get to that end of your career, I don't know how many people are able to still do it enough.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Is it labelled as their final tour? Or
The
anything?
final tour. I don't believe it.
Is that what they're saying?
This is
though?
what it is. I might have the ticket stub on us because I'm terrible at emptying my pockets. I get told off for this. I don't actually, which is a shame. But it's labelled as the final farewell world tour or whatever.
I hope it is, because if they do more, then your sort of lasting memory of them gets worse.
Yeah.
You want one of your last memories of them to be something good.
It was good enough. Let's put it. It was good enough. But I've seen them for years.
How much you know the band, you could kind of tell that it's gone downhill a little bit.
Right. I mean, I saw them at Donington years ago, and that was a good show.
It seemed fully live.
Yeah, and then I saw them a couple of other times, and then I saw them at Donington again a couple of years back. And interestingly, funnily enough, they were playing with the Motley Crue that day, and Motley Crue had played the set before them, and Motley Crue, they weren't fully live. No way. They had backing tracks, his vocals.
I think they have for a while.
Right? So then Kiss come on afterwards, right? And Paul Stanley, like, he normally talks like Michael Jackson with that really high New York voice. Yeah. All of a sudden he goes to like this Brooklyn accent. He's like, yo, Motley Crue, singing a backing track, fucking this and that, calling them out about the backing. Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
I was like, check out Paul Stanley, like totally shooting on the Motley Crue.
I wonder if you would say that now.
I think you accept Mother Nature, you know, you have your limitations and stuff. And
who was opening for Kiss?
The worst fucking cover opening thing I've ever seen in my life. It wasn't a band. There was no band, right? Okay. See, because everyone loves Kiss. Kiss, the masters are pulling wool over people's eyes so that you go, this is amazing. It really fucking wasn't. It was this dude you walk in, so this guy comes on, right? He's like Jeff Tate now, like completely fucking bald. I thought it fucking was Jeff Tate. I'm like, wow, Jeff Tate. It's like, it wasn't Jeff Tate. He's got a big fucking canvas. He's like, I'm going to do some painting. So he just painted pictures. He painted pictures of Elton John, one of Slash, to like Guns N' Roses songs.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's like 20,000 people watching a dude paint. I cracked the pun, right? This is like watching paint dry. Terrible, right? But I was like,
in a way, you were.
Yeah. And I just couldn't get in. I mean, it was impressive what he was doing. Don't get me wrong.
Wrong setting though.
Yeah. You know, like, what the fuck?
Did a rock band turn up
I
to
thought
the
I
museum
died.
down the road?
I thought I fucking...
To the art gallery.
I thought I fucking died, man. I thought I was in fucking purgatory or something. You know what I mean? The never-ending painting set before seeing Kiss. You'd be there for eternity and you don't get to see them.
Because that's no build-up to a fucking rock band, is it?
No, it was...
You need something that's sort of on the way to what the main event is.
You know, I would have had a boxing fight, yeah.
Yeah. Just a bit aggressive. Aggression.
Get some people from the Quayside, man. Fucking... You know, tanked up on Peeve, man. Stick them in the ring and make them fight, you know what I mean?
That is weird. I've never even heard of it. I mean, I've heard of, like, stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
Which, that would work. If you got a really funny guy making everyone laugh, fair enough.
Bill Hicks used to do, didn't he, for, like, Tool and stuff?
Well, a lot of comedians have done that, but that just sounds... That just makes no sense.
A lot of people liked it, though. Honestly.
There you go.
And I was like, am I on fucking Planet Zog here or what? You know, I'm looking around. But that's life. Everyone has their opinion.
How long was he on for?
Oh, God, too long. I said, don't cheer him because he'll stay on longer. You know, no one clap. Everyone clap. He's on half an hour, maybe.
Right.
Half an hour.
So what's that song about?
This
How
song,
old is it?
This song, I think it was maybe like 2 years old, I think. I was writing a paper on stalking for uni, and and I was like watching a program about it as well, and it's just completely fictional. It's just like a scenario that I came up with in my head about like getting completely like obsessed like with someone, like just completely like sexually obsessed with them. And
so you're doing that from the perspective of the stalker, not the stalker. Ah, okay,
Yeah.
interesting. That's different.
Yeah.
So you don't write about the typical matters of the heart, love songs kind of thing?
I have done.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, no, I have done. I just tend to get bored with it, so
It's been done.
yeah, no, I think you can do it really successfully. I know a lot of brilliant artists that I care about a lot that do that really well. I think for me, it has to be a bit weird for me to be interested in writing about it, really.
I suppose that translates to the listener as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because if, like, Matters of the Heart, it's a crowded market, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got to do a bit of a different perspective on things.
Yeah.
So do you do the lyrics yourself 100%?
Yeah.
Cool. So what would happen if one of the other guys said, I think you should change that? Or...
That's the only thing that I'm a huge control freak on, so
Right.
I would just say no.
Fair enough. But music-wise, it's pretty open.
Yeah, music-wise, I'm open to new ideas, and like, you know, if someone says like, I really think this element would sound cool in this song, I'm like, you know, if I think it sounds good, I'll be like, yeah, and you know, I'm not sort of like rigid, like we have to do it like my way or anything. I think it should be more like a democracy when you're in a band.
I think it's better for everyone that
It
way.
is, yeah,
Because
definitely.
for the other people, it becomes like a bit of a dictatorship then, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
That's why some artists have a big turnaround of band members, because they're sort of, it's my way or the highway.
Yeah,
Quite often it's the highway.
Yeah.
Sometimes though that can get things done though, can't it?
Well, some people, they're very driven and they have a certain way, and people either go with it or they don't.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's what makes them, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's a bit like a relationship, really. It's about compromise. It's about finding a balance that works for everyone, I guess.
Yeah.
But you only learn it by doing it.
Definitely.
So you've probably learned a lot in your time.
I think if you care about your friends and your band, and you want them to be happy, then you'll sort of like negotiate things and be more open to that sort of thing, because it's definitely not healthy for me to just dictate everything that happens. You know, I don't see it as like my band. I see it as like
The band.
Yeah.
So how big a decision was it to hold your studies then, to do this?
It was a really big decision. So I was, you know, my job is you know, something that I have to concentrate fully on. It's the sort of job. I work for the NHS, so I have to be, you know, fully immersed in what I'm doing at work. And then I was doing that, and then I was doing the masters, which was pretty intense as well, and then the band stuff. And if I'm completely honest, I just had like a bit of a breakdown, and I couldn't sort of keep all
Too much on your plate.
Yeah, I couldn't keep all these things going the way that I was. So I was also volunteering in the prison. I was teaching music in there. So.
Anything else you want to add? So it just got too much.
Yeah.
But still a bold choice to go
Yeah.
music, because as we know these days, it's a difficult path.
It is, yeah. It's not that I'm putting all my faith in music or anything like that. I just it felt like the right thing to do at the time.
Yeah, I suppose opportunity, and you've got to go. You're going for it, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So when did you start writing this EP that's about to come out?
I actually started writing this last year. So one of the songs that's on it, it's called Forgiveness. I actually recorded that last year, and that was without the band. So that is just like with, you know, like drum loops and things like that. So yeah, it's a bit different to the other songs, but we've made it sound as cohesive as possible with all the mastering.
Giving it the band treatment.
Yeah, so there's still no one playing on it really. It's still like very heavily produced, but the way it's been mixed and everything, I think it does sound cohesive with and it's actually, strangely, it's quite similar to the style we've got now. It's got that soul influence and stuff that we've got now, so it's lucky.
So how was it recorded? How do you do it?
So with that, it was just literally, I mean, I play guitar, but I wouldn't say that I play guitar well enough to play on my own records yet.
Right.
So I got Rory to play the guitar part that I'd written.
And when you do, he's out.
And then I sang, and then I programmed all the synths and everything. And Rory did all the production work on it, which is really cool. And then after that, obviously we did the stuff with the band. So it is different. But I think
where did you do it all at? Majority.
Yeah. It's actually recorded at my old high school.
All right. Okay. Where was that at?
So in Keswick School, down the bottom of the hill, so separate from the school, they've got now a recording studio called Massive Music that my mate Rory, he runs it. And
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's handy.
Yeah, it's good.
So was that like a proper studio situation where did you all have to go in at the same time, or was you just going in at different times to do various things?
Yeah, we all went in together, and then we did record all our parts separately pretty much. I think the bass and the drums might have been recorded at the same time, I can't remember. But yeah, I did my vocals separately to the guys being in there, so that was in a different day and stuff.
So you haven't given yourself a time scale for all this in terms of like, I need to get back to my studies? Because it's almost like a plan B.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think I need like a couple more months, and then I'm going to go back to my studies. I just wanted to get gig season out of the way. I think when winter comes, it's going to be easier for me to go back to my studies and not have to juggle everything so much.
And then do you think there'll be opportunity for you to come back and do it again?
Yeah. At uni.
Music. If you go back to study, you'll come back to music at some point?
I can still do music and studying at the same time. I think just at that time, it was just getting a bit intense doing them both.
Right.
And with the volunteering as well, which I'm not doing at the moment. I might go back and do that next year, but I'm not doing that at the moment.
I suppose with the music, when you get it to the cycle where you like write, record, put it out, tour, you can sort of get it in to fit in with your schedule, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So have you got some dates once the EP's out? Are you doing some stuff to promote it then?
Yeah. So we've got the EP launch, and then at the moment we're trying to organise. We're talking to venues and trying to organise gigs for the winter to promote the EP and stuff. So that's important.
Because there's quite a few around it. Are you thinking of going anywhere further afield?
Edinburgh. I've got a few mates in Edinburgh. I know a few people there. So like it would be good. I felt like if we did Edinburgh, I could sort of text my mates and be like, "We're playing tonight. Come down and stuff." Because it's quite intimidating playing a new city where
it's good though. For
yeah.
You.
Oh yeah, it's
really
definitely good. But it's scary the first time you play a new city.
Yeah, Scotland can be quite intimidating.
Oh no, I love Scotland. I would move there tomorrow if I could.
No, but music fans are great out there though.
Yeah.
Really enthusiastic, and there are some awesome venues.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
So it comes out on the 30th, and it's 4 tracks. What's it? Yeah. It's called what? Did you say it was
Constrictor.
Called? Where did you get that title from?
I just like snakes.
I thought it was a snake thing. Yeah.
No, it's related to one of the songs is called Constrictor.
Ah, so it's like a title track.
Yeah.
So where did the theme from that come from then?
It's really hard to explain.
Isn't it about asphyxiation or something?
I was going to say constrictor. That's what I was thinking of. Constrictor is something that like.
Yeah, I think that's
restricts your breathing.
Yeah, it's really not that dark. It's
so we've got stalking, and we've got asphyxia. I don't know. I see where we're going.
It's very tongue in cheek, but it's about like deviation from the norm, shall we say?
So what are some of the other tracks? The themes on the other tracks? On the EP?
So there's a Black Hair, which is kind of like your stereotypical like love heartbreak song. I really wanted to write one like that. So like a lot of it's like things from like my teenage diary that I discovered the other day. So like themes from that, because things were really intense when I was a teenager. I didn't
they always are when you're younger.
Yeah.
Or even when you go back to like 5-year-olds, like something terrible's happened, like someone's nicked your sweets or something, like oh my god, bawling your eyes out. The next 10 minutes later, best friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, that must have been quite of a shock.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how much more intense like my emotions and things were then. So I thought it would be fun to sort of write about that. And then there's another track called Left, Right, Good Night, and that's another sort of like tongue-in-cheek one. But it's just about like I would rather that I don't like when people try and mess with other people's heads with their words, and that psychological like
almost abuse, isn't it?
I don't like that, and it's kind of like my views on that, and that in an intimate relationship, how the damage that causes sometimes.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh, did you audition for X Factor and The Voice? Did I hear?
I did. I'm not gonna lie about it. I did.
What was the motivation for that then?
If I'm completely honest, like my dad really loves them shows, and it like meant the world to him for me to audition for it. So like I just thought I'll give it a go. I've got nothing to lose. In all truth, I have nothing against those shows, and
I do.
No, I think, you know, like it for some people that's the sort of music they want to do, and that there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want to belittle like other styles of music. You know, it's more just like it wasn't the right path for me. So it's not like sour grapes or anything, but people say, would you go on it again? And it's like, no, because I want to write my own stuff, and I don't sort of want to, you know, I just feel like they do like dictate to you how you should be on those kind of shows.
The time's passed for those shows anyway.
Yeah.
They've not made a pop star in like, well,
No, and it's
5
usually like if
years
someone who
at
finished
least.
third ends up having some sort of career. Like,
Yeah,
I think people have kind of, the novelty's worn off, I think.
yeah.
Because usually they end up, what do they win? They end up like a contract where someone's going to write the songs for them.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
just never hear them again.
Yeah.
Like talking to you now and hearing your music, I couldn't imagine you wanted to go down that path. But
No.
I imagine you probably got out of the experience though.
Well, I got out of it that I'm too weird for television.
Oh well.
Yeah, you know when they say it in The Voice, you know, like that it's all on The Voice, and I think it is more so than the X Factor. But they did want to interview me, like when I'd got and they said
That's a what?
what?
Spinny chairs. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
But they wanted to interview me about like my influences, and they said, you know, what are those? And I was like, well, like The Godfather, Hannibal Lecter, and they looked really disgusted.
Well, not the answers they were looking for.
No.
So what was it like then? What was the experience? What did you have to go through?
So you go into the Hilton Hotel for The Voice, and there's like 10 of you in a room, and you all have to like stand in the round, and you all have to like sing for 10 seconds exactly. So like everyone went round, and there was some incredible singers in there, way better than me. And then they say, right, go outside, and then you come back in, and they said, Lauren's the only one that's got through today, and out of that section of people. And I was like really shocked, because there was people who were way better than me, but I guess it's subjective in it. That's what they, you know, maybe were lacking on the day. They needed a bit more of that type of voice or whatever. And then they said, come upstairs and we'll interview you and about your influences and stuff. And then they said, you know, if you go home, we'll email you. And they emailed me like songs to pick for the show and stuff. So it was like they were shortlisting it all the time, and then they said, you haven't made this cut. So I was like, oh, okay then. So it, you know, I wasn't upset about it or anything. I didn't really have any feelings towards it. I think my dad was quite upset, but like, you know.
What about X Factor? How did that differ?
That was completely different. That was like, you go into the Metro Radio Arena in Newcastle, and there's like hundreds and hundreds of people there, and it's all like really crowded, and you just sit basically all day and wait. It's completely different to The Voice. And then you go into this little tent thing, and there's like one person in there, and you have to like sing at their face, and like
Pretty intimidating.
yeah. And but I got through a couple of rounds on that as well. But it's the same. You don't get anywhere near the judges or the TV for so many rounds. So it's not how it appears on TV.
Were they asking you all sorts of questions as well about you?
Yeah. I mean, not so much with the X Factor. They didn't seem to care that much, but with The
Right.
Voice they did. But I'm probably going to get in loads of trouble for like ruining all the secrets now.
I wouldn't worry about it. No, I've never been a fan of those shows. But I can, if that's what some people want to do, then fair enough. But
I just think it's exploitation.
it ties in with all the reality TV stuff. People just wanting their 15 minutes of fame. Like I always feel like they put bad people in there on purpose.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because like you'll say that person got through, and
Yeah.
you're not blowing your own trumpet, but I'm way better than them.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have got
Oh,
like
yeah,
mental
yeah.
problems, and they'll ask them back year after year just to
Yeah.
make fun of them.
Well, they want like a
It's-
sob
Yeah.
story,
Interesting,
don't they?
like-
Then we've got some sort of sensationalising it, I
Yeah.
suppose. But I think the novelty has worn off. The viewing
Yeah.
figures are not what they used to be.
No.
I think The Voice is probably doing better than the X
Yeah,
Factor.
definitely. Yeah.
But it's an interesting. It was an. I remember when I first heard it. It was an interesting concept of them not be able to see them, just hear their voice. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've seen them before.
They're like
That-
shortlisted
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's,
And people always say, "Oh, they've already chosen the winner," and the
Yeah.
person who wins it's got a song out 4 days later in the charts. Like,
Yeah.
"No, hang on, eh?" But so you don't regret it, but you wouldn't do it again.
I would say personally for me, I regret it. That you know,
Okay.
same again. Not belittling anyone who goes on them shows, all those shows, because it's everyone's personal choice what they do
Yeah.
musically. But for me, it's not something I advertise. Let's just say that. But if anyone asks me, I'm not going to lie about it.
No. I don't think you need to lie about it. It's
Yeah.
not- I wouldn't be ashamed of it. It's not that bad. But I think you'll probably look back at it and maybe one day you'll think, "Oh, at least I did it." Something
Yeah.
to add to your resume.
Yeah, it's an experience and it's a learning curve. And I was pretty young when I did it.
How long ago was it?
So I think I went on the X Factor when I was about 17, and then The Voice. I think I was possibly about 20, 21, something like that. So yeah, like it is an experience, but not one I would repeat.
I see in America they've tried a few of them shows where they try and look for a band,
Yeah.
which is a bit more.
Yeah, I remember
Organic.
MTV2 did like a thing like years ago, and you
like
know,
Rockstar or something like that.
you know what they call Birds versus Planes.
Oh yeah.
Like they originally on when they were called something else, Strasser Track and Field.
Oh yeah.
I kind of helped them to get to like a few rungs up the ladder anyway. Like that was pretty cool, but MTV2 doesn't even exist anymore. It's like.
Well, the M stood for music. So
Yeah. It's just like MTV now. It's just
as soon as they
another
started doing those reality
replay,
TV shows like The Real World, that was the first ever in like early 90s. The viewing figures were like, oh, well, let's do more of that, and then the
Yeah.
music just kind of went.
Yeah.
And then it just became a joke. And there was a thing last year about it got bought out by someone, and they were going to try and put the music back into MTV, but I've not seen.
No.
Not that I ever watch it.
I don't have Sky TV anymore, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it used to be MTV used to be the be all and end all, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's like if a video was on MTV, it was like, oh, you made it.
Yeah, definitely.
Now it's like if you get a video, you're like, and
Yeah.
It's like Top of the Pops, like, you know.
I wish that still existed.
That used
I
to be
do and I
something
don't.
for bands to aim
some
for,
people,
like-
a lot of bands used to hate it because they would be asked to mime,
Yeah.
and they
but
refused to do it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it was just another like wave, like because you could get like in the top 40 realistically and maybe end up playing in front of TV now. Like you could get on
But,
top 40.
yeah, I don't
somehow.
think that works with the music model the way it works now, because you don't have album sales per se, don't you? It's like more
Yeah.
like streams and downloads now.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah.
Apple have stopped doing downloads; they just do streams now.
Yeah.
So, I think that's part of the reason why it stopped, because they were basing it on album sales.
Yeah.
And it was like, we haven't got a model to follow now.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Have you seen the Lancashire Hot Pots?
I did, like I've definitely seen them at one point, like because I've
hilarious.
been there quite a few times, but
They're on most
yeah,
years
yeah.
on the main stage.
Yeah.
Like, they're always opening the main stage, but it's always packed at like lunchtime.
But yeah, no, I don't think I've really watched them properly. I've definitely seen bits.
Yeah.
But,
They do very well. They do
yeah.
very well. It's like the novelty sort of comedic. They're like, what did I describe them as? Like Peter Kay music version.
yeah,
Yeah. That's cool.
Writing songs about chippy tea,
yeah.
egg sausage, chips and beans.
Do they do? Is it like a bit of stout or something like that?
Oh.
Is that someone else?
No, that was them.
Yeah.
Could that be the beer Olympics?
Yeah, they had a song that they got a cease and desist from the IOC, the
Oh,
Olympic
right.
Committee,
Yeah.
because they had a song called Beer Olympics.
Yeah.
So they rather than sack the song off, what did they call it? The
It was
quad yearly. What was it? Quad yearly
I can't even remember,
Beer
but it was like a
Championship.
12-word title.
that they had to remove the word Olympics. Quad yearly. Is it alcohol? It's just so. But they had T-shirts done with it on as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, they actually got a proper cease and desist letter from the Olympic Committee.
I wanna
He's
find
going to
it.
look it up now.
We should change the band to Delagrave Olympics. See what
Does
happens.
Delagrave bring up anything else when you Google it?
A French hospital.
There you go. Did you do that before you? Did you look it up
I
before
did, yeah. I mean, maybe I'm going to stumble on something and it's actually going to be like copyrighted or whatever, but
Too late.
yeah, it's too late now.
So where did Delagrave come from?
It's I think it's like a French adaptation of my surname.
Oh, right.
Because its surname is very morbid.
Graves.
Yeah.
Never thought of that.
But yeah, I don't know. It's not that I dislike my own name, as I said before. It's just that I really wanted it to just be like a project sort of thing. But if I'm honest, if I could change the band name now, I would.
You
I
would?
think, I think it's fine. I think it's. I think
No,
it's a good name,
I don't think
like-
you should.
Oh, thank you.
I think it works perfectly. Plus, when you Google it, nothing else comes up.
Yeah, that's
That
always
is
a good sign.
That's a massive problem these days.
Yeah.
There's so much out there. No, I think it's fine.
Thank you.
I think it fits in because it's kind of your name, but it's not.
Yeah, yeah.
and it's if people don't know your name, but they just come across,
and it'll put
it's
us
just a
next,
band name.
Yeah.
It'll put us next to De La Soul in the
Yeah,
in the
that's
intro,
yeah.
so
thing. Yeah.
it'd be fine.
But it's like if you analyze some bands that you love, like Pink Floyd, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's mad names.
Or like even like Tool.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
Yeah, just names that stick.
At the
sometimes,
end of the
don't
day,
they?
it's just a name.
Yeah.
If people like the band, then they just get used to the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go through the hassle of changing your name.
Oh no, it's way too late now.
Have you found it?
Yeah, I found it.
What is it?
It's the Beer International Non-Profit Non-Governmental Sporting Quad Yearly Event.
That's the actual name of the song.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that went from Beer Olympics to that. But fair play to them, because they would have had to sack the song off and remove it from all there. They
Yeah.
just changed the name.
Mm.
But it's,
I take it they didn't. Does it still say Beer Olympics in the lyrics though, or do they have to change it?
I don't know actually. I don't know if actual Beer Olympics were in the title of it.
Just about beer. That's what it was.
But there's been quite a few things like that over the years, with bands nicking other bands' song titles or music or.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of songs that have got the same name. Like there's a lot of songs called Fade Away.
Yeah.
Don't Look Back.
Yeah.
Various variations of that.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think that, like, if they're called the same thing, I don't think there's usually any issue with that. It's when
No.
they like if they use the same chord progression or
Yeah.
the same intro or.
Even then, it's
Yeah.
like some songs have obviously got the exact same chord progression, because it's like that 4-chord song, isn't there, that you can play loads of songs on. So I don't know how complex a chord progression has to be before they'll actually sue you, or if it's just in case you make money and then they're going to sue you. Otherwise, they're not
Yeah,
bothered.
well, that's true.
Yeah, because Radiohead sued Lana Del Rey, I think.
Did they?
Yeah, because one of her songs, and when you listen to it, it does sound like Creep. But someone, I think, actually found out that Creep sounds very similar to a song from the 70s. So it's.
So they nicked it off them, but they nicked it off them. That doesn't
Yeah.
matter because they nicked it off them.
Where does it end?
People always recycle ideas.
Yeah.
Like now, how hard is it to do something completely original now that hasn't been done
Exactly.
before, or doesn't
Yeah.
sound a little bit like something else?
Yeah.
If you can do that, fair play
Yeah,
to you.
you need to not
Yeah.
use any instruments.
Yeah.
No chords. You can't use any chords. They've all been used. They've all been done. But no, keep going. But you've just got to, like you say, you just need like a different perspective on stuff that's possibly already been done. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just go with whatever comes out.
Yeah, I stress about it a lot because I would never, consciously rip off another
No.
band. But I always think, what if this song sounds like someone else, and then someone sort of makes a point of saying about it. But it's just like you cannot write something completely original.
No.
It's impossible.
What somebody might have thought of the same. It's like comedians.
Yeah.
They're sometimes worried like, he thinks I've stolen his joke, but
Yeah.
I thought just because he came up with it first, I thought of it before him. I just never got around to
But
writing
then
it.
there are some
Yeah.
comedians who are famous for stealing other
Oh, of
people's
course,
jokes.
Yeah.
of course,
Like Robin
of course.
Williams and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, stuff that comes out later on down the line. But I don't know. It's part of there's so much gone before us. You're not going to be able to do anything completely original anymore.
Yeah,
you just gotta. But you can't let that affect what you're doing. You've just got to
Yeah.
go with it. If someone comes up and he goes, "That is a rip off of this," and you go, even if you didn't mean to, you're gonna go,
Yeah.
"Fair play."
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think as you go along, it won't be an issue.
Yeah, definitely. You get more chilled out as it goes along. Definitely. I used to be like really anxious about every sort of aspect of it, and like now it's just like some things you can control and some things you can't, and
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
There's no point worrying over stuff you can't control. Have you
Yeah.
been compared to many people? The band, or you?
I get the Amy Winehouse thing a lot.
Looks wise or voice?
I'm not sure. I assumed it was voice, but it could be. I've got black hair too.
I think you've got a similar kind of range, but you definitely don't sing like her. Like,
Yeah.
because she puts on that like fake New York accent or whatever. It's just like,
Yeah.
nah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's quite a lazy comparison, and I love Amy Winehouse. She's one of my favourite artists of all time.
Great voice.
But she's got an amazing voice. I think it's just like I said, the black hair, and because I've got quite a deep voice and I come from a sort of jazz blues background, so that's maybe what it is. But I don't think my songs are anything like hers, because hers are very jazzy and bluesy, whereas mine take different aspects out of different music.
So what would you do if like you got signed and people were trying to sort of influence you, what you were writing?
I'd like to think that I wouldn't sign something where that would happen, but if it did, I would definitely take their ideas on board, and I would want to understand why they thought I should go down that route.
I think it depends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It depends on what the songs were like.
Yeah.
I mean, a good idea is a good idea. It depends
Yeah,
what their
exactly.
idea is, I suppose. But if they're wanting to do stuff that's like just for showbiz reasons,
Yeah.
Like I can see someone offering Lauren a record contract and being like, "We'll get you some writers and do like do an whole album or like this or whatever." And I don't know. It just depends, doesn't it? On like.
but sometimes it's worked. Like that's what worked for Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
She got put with I can't remember his name, and she wrote "Jagged Little Pill" and the album after that as well.
I think
But
the Darkness
based
guys used to be in her
Yeah.
band.
and Robbie Williams, he has him. I can't
Well,
remember
it
his
used to
name
be
either.
some guy, wasn't it? They eventually fell out. Whoever
They did,
it was,
but
the original.
a lot of their song was just it just helped. You meet the right person, it just clicks. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I wouldn't. I always that's what happened to Pink. She was
Yeah.
when she got signed, they just wanted her to be like Britney Spears kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
was just like, no, I'm not doing it. And then they ended up when they actually let her be herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's still kind of like an alternative pop star. Though,
Yeah,
at the
she's
end
kind
of
of
the
gone
day.
that
So
way
it's
now.
still
But when she
like-
first came out,
Yeah.
that was more of herself, like
Yeah.
the songwriting and stuff like that. But and like Avril Lavigne,
Yeah.
when her first like 2 albums, I really liked, and then she came out with all this just poppy stuff, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh no, I can just
It's
tell,
some-
I can tell what's happened
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
They've got in her head, and they've just said you
Yeah.
should do this, and you should do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes it's probably just because they've made that much money, they don't care anymore, which
That's
I'd be happy
so
with.
sad that though. Isn't it? Sad.
You shouldn't have to
Oops.
compromise your artistic integrity and your personality for
No.
fame or money, and like fame and money really isn't that important that I would compromise that.
That's
to
the
be
stuff that
honest.
usually ruins what you had in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll take the money, like definitely.
Oh,
You gotta
you-
be careful.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, yeah.
Because how do you think it would change things? What if you had no money worries? If you guys could do whatever you want,
Well, then,
how would that change things?
Well, then I could just. You see that? I feel like I wouldn't mind doing some pop song that's gonna get us massive if I can then spend the rest of my life doing whatever I want.
That's
oh, yeah,
true.
I agree. Yeah, I'm
That's
totally
true.
with you there.
I think that
definitely.
could have been the X Factor thing with you. If something had come of it,
Yeah.
it could have led to you getting in a position where you're financially better off,
Yeah.
which would then allow you to have creative freedom for your own stuff.
That did cross my mind at the time, but a lot of people said to me when I was going on it, you won't be respected in the alternative music scene afterwards anyway. So
Yeah. I could care less and less about what people think, though. These days,
Yeah.
to be honest.
yeah,
At the end of the day, you just want to do what makes you happy.
yeah.
So if that led to that, it doesn't really matter what everyone else thinks.
yeah,
But you're always going to get that, aren't you? All these opinionated people coming out of the woodwork
yeah.
I mean, it's
who've never done anything in their life.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're experts.
Still get these people that are like, oh, the Beatles were just a pop band and
Oh,
like
God.
manufactured artists. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Like
Yeah.
they basically popularized being a band that actually writes their own music.
Yeah, they
which
did.
is the exact opposite. It's,
Them and the Stones.
nah,
I thought it was funny, the Stones, when they started, they were a bit similar to the Beatles, though. Their suits and their
Yeah.
clean cut, and then they just
Yeah.
suddenly went, fuck this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the look obviously was kind of. I guess you could say that was manufactured, but there was
Yeah,
still
yeah.
there was still like a real band. Like they'd spent.
But
the
no one had
whole
ever
life-
heard anything like that before at the time.
Yeah. I mean, like the reason the Beatles were so good is because they spent years. They just learned everyone else's. They basically learned the whole history of rock and roll, pretty much.
Which wasn't that much
Yeah,
at the time.
well, yeah, but it's like I mean, all the Elvis and Buddy Holly and all that kind
Yeah.
of like stuff that was the forerunner to it, and they could play all of it better than
Yeah.
anyone else, pretty much. And anyway,
No, I know what you mean, though, but it's like they didn't have the sort of pressure of keeping up with something. They were doing something new, which I suppose is a
Yeah.
different pressure in itself.
yeah.
It must have been pretty insane.
Yeah, I think that's how you do come up with something new, by knowing everything that's came before, though. And like I think that's where a lot of bands struggle these days, is that they don't really like they don't listen to enough stuff, or like
The
think-
limited amount of
Yeah.
influences, and they just use that.
yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I really love this band, I'm just gonna make music like that. And it's like, well, they were they followed on from what came before them, and then there's been all these other bands that have been inspired by that, and it's like you have to
Eventually,
try and take it all.
wherever you start out, you should find yourself. Like you, most of us start sounding like our influences, but as you go on, you sound more and more like yourself.
Yeah.
Or that you'll end up sounding like this band.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably like two or three releases time, you'll go, this is what we sound like.
Yeah.
It'll take a while to get. It's what usually happens.